Well, the last warrior who came to knock on Eldred's door was again a very different sort. Excuse me, sir. I was wondering, sir, if I might, like, come on, I'm an old man and it's a short story, move it along. I was wondering, sir, if I might try for your sword, sir. 3 sirs in a sentence. You got 1 week to prove to me you're the greatest warrior. 1 week to prove you know how to honor the sword you have. Head out, mind the door. Well, this young man, Eric of Shout, went looking for bad, you know the whole story, nothing, except an old lady again. And as soon as she saw him, she started scurrying away as fast as she could. Well, he raced up in front of her, stood in front of her and said, "Excuse me, ma'am. I was wondering if, no bandits, Republicans, monkeys, nothing, all right? Nothing. It's very quiet until your stupid knights keep asking for..." But at that point, there was the sound of children from down the path. And as soon as she heard it, she became very frightened. "Oh, no, it's the village children. They take my apples and call me witch. No, I... "Well, that's not right, old mother," said Eric. "Here, take my sword and scabbard, and let me borrow your cloak and your basket. I'll return it. We'll see what we can do about this." And so, with the cloak pulled down, and as he bent over, and it was twilight, and it's a short story, so we suspend our disbelief, he looked very much like her. He went wandering down the path, and as soon as the first of the children reached for the apples, whoa, they went flying. And then the second, and the third, and the fourth. He went scurrying back around the path, handed back her basket, handed back the shawl, took his sword and scabbard and said, "I don't think they'll bother you anymore, old mother. Have a good day." And he went out looking for adventure. Well, she tentatively looked around the corner, and when the first of those ruffians who'd pulled themselves off the thorn bush saw her, they screamed and threw themselves right back into the thorn bush again. Well, she took an apple out of that basket and she gummed it all the way to the village, giggling. But Eric could find no beagles, nor bandits, nor ogres, nor Lion Kings. So after a while, he found himself a stout stick, attached a line, and at a small pool in the forest, caught himself a fish. Then he gathered up some loose wood and made a fire, cooked that fish, and later he used that same stick to practice his swordsmanship. And so it went for a week. And after a time, all 3 knights returned to Eldred's shed. "You, Belloc the Mighty, you used your sword where an axe would better suit. Strength alone is not the way of the warrior. Be gone! Hope the door hits you on the butt on the way out." And Belloc's like, very perplexed. All right. He was perplexed most of the time, but this time the headache lasted for a week. Well. You, Wessex the well-bred, you used your sword where a butcher's tool would better suit. Death alone is not the way of the warrior. Be gone! Well, I never. You're dressed like that, you're not likely to, fella. Get out! Yes, come, Eric, and get your sword. And he led him into the back room, and there, on a stand, was a scabbarded sword. And the scabbard was ivory, encrusted with jewels, hunting scenes, and scenes of the seasons. The handle was a single piece of carved agate, with a ruby, the eye of a dragon. He grabbed the scabbard, grabbed the handle, and pulled. Nothing. There was no blade. And even as the old man said it, Eric understood. The greatest warrior never has need to draw his sword. And that is true as I stand before you, so help me God. Within me lies the warrior, the savage killing ghost of every Celtic ancestor, a fearsome shouting host of cattle raids and blood feuds, my cells are all composed. But life for me's no epic poem, just damned boring prose.